Jeffrey Dahmer soaked in blood. The Unabomber blowing up. Waco, Texas, and Heaven's Gates. Aliens modified, meant for apes. Hitler faked his death and then escaped. Bigfoot and the Mothman. Son of Sam talking to dogs again. Witches, ghosts, and goblins. Mysterious noise and hauntings. Dark arts in the skull and bones. Most celebrities are probably cloned. So if you're feeling all alone, crack a beer and get stoned. I welcome you to the podcast Strange Brew. We're here to entertain you. We're here to entertain you.
It's about to get strange.
What's the difference between 3 cocks and a joke?
What?
Tom can't take a joke.
It's so predictable. So predictable.
I like it though. Yeah, you didn't like the joke.
No.
You couldn't take it.
No, couldn't take it. Welcome, everybody, back to the show. Everybody, welcome. Welcome. You know what it is.
Hey, Jose. Yeah, listen to this one's coming. You know what it is? What?
Is that from Saturday Night Live?
Podcast.
It's from Strange Brew.
No, the Hey Jose, that's an SNL skit, I think.
No, so it wasn't ever SNL, right? It was the Canadian version, which was man, why can't I think of this right now? My fucking mind is
Jimmy Fallon? No, he's
no, not sure. SCTV.
Oh,
That's where Bob
yeah.
and Doug McKenzie came from. And that's how I was like, fuck it. It's the only beer that comes, at least in Canada, in the stubby bottles. And it's a Jamaican lager, the Red Stripe. But it's so nostalgic.
There was I did that for a fun fact one day back like when we first started this. I don't remember why that was. Why?
Yeah.
Remember when they stopped selling bottles that way? There was a reason. There was
a reason behind it. I don't know what it is, but
I
it's
don't
like,
remember either.
we're not going to waste this much glass. It's just like fucking 3 inches of glass.
It wasn't about that. It was a marketing thing, but
Yeah.
I don't remember why they changed it.
It's just so nostalgic to have these little stubby bottles, and it reminds me of Bob and Doug McKenzie and kind of who we base this like.
As soon as you drink that, it's like, oh, I have a problem.
That's why it's
Reminds
funny.
you of grandpa getting drunk.
When people we've had a lot of good reviews. We had one recently and stuff like that about bringing back Richard Ramirez and all that stuff. But like the ones that the negative ones we've had were like, these guys are fucking idiots, couldn't listen to it for more than 5 minutes or whatever,
fair.
right? Yeah, it's like we are named like a Strange Brew podcast after 2 drunken morons. Essentially, that's what they are. So the whole idea, we weren't supposed to be this like superior intellectual podcast. We are drinking beer, getting stoned, doing mushrooms on the show, and just hanging out.
I'm not doing mushrooms.
I know Billy will never do them.
I'm not doing them.
I'm gonna get Brett to do them. You should do them with all.
Go
of us.
ahead. Go make Brett do them. I'm not fucking doing
We're gonna
them.
walk around his property. It's gonna walk into the forest. And
You
go
go
for a-
have fun.
I
I
will.
will sit there and drink.
Like I said, at the end, I will look like Robin Williams from Jumanji.
Oh, yeah?
The fucking like leaf suit he has
Oh,
on.
yeah.
He's like the fucking jungle man. So this will be fun. Everybody, welcome back to the show. The time this comes out, the Halloween special will be out. So make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe and check that out because I'm sure it's going to be hilarious and wild and crazy. And for all, especially those big specials, I always shout people out to just go watch it, even on Rumble or BitChute or any of them.
That's right. Rumble. I forgot you said we were doing that.
Yeah, because, just in case, because obviously, hello, YouTube, you censoring. God, man.
What's Trudeau doing now for podcasts?
Well, it's very murky, but they want to regulate podcasting.
How could you physically do that? Like,
Because anyone can do it. They want people to register.
you'd have to
I guess, 'cause
listen to like so much and just like catch every little thing.
Well,
Like,
they don't-
I guess like you'd flag certain types of groups like ours.
Yes.
It'd be like, yeah, well, we've caught them like every time. So like, just listen to all the episodes.
Yeah, so let's hope that anything negative doesn't come from that, right? But it's like they don't want people listening to Joe Rogan where he's constantly calling out like the big pharma stuff and some of the stuff to do with the war and all that stuff. They don't want people to think for themselves. They want the state to think for you, you know?
Which
Communism.
getting a Spotify
With
deal
a
like
bit
you
of
did,
fascism in the center, like a fucking licking a lollipop and tastes like communism, but when you bite down, it's really fascist, you know?
What's fascism taste like? I bet it's like black licorice.
Yeah, ew. It tastes.
I don't
like,
mind black licorice. I really don't.
Really?
Yeah, like, okay, am I gonna go to the store and be like, yeah, out of all, no, but like if I'm eating one, I'll be like, like it's all right. Like it's not like, ugh.
In Norway, or maybe it's Iceland, they do these like candies and they roll it's like this very black licorice candy and they roll it in salt. in salt, and because they have like
No
no
sugar,
taste buds. No, I don't know. Like it sounds disgusting though. I heard somebody talking about it recently.
Do
and I
they
was like,
smoke a lot of cigarettes down there?
I
'Cause that's what my grandpa used to do. He lost
'cause they
his
do a lot
taste
of-
from
lot
so
of
much
fishing.
smoking that by
of
the time
fishing.
he finished pouring salt on his fucking food, and it was like
A
you could
mountain?
literally you could see the fucking salt
That's
sitting
fucked.
on top of his food. And he's like, good. He's like, so I can finally. He's like, I can finally fucking taste it. Like,
This is probably one of the most bizarre cryptids that we have talked about. And obviously we have plans to kind of go back and discuss some other ones. I'm back with the milk. The milkman. What's up, milkman? I don't know who you are, but that's fun.
but that's fun.
So this is a very bizarre. I'm back with the milk. I don't even understand what the fuck. I brought this as storage. My Gandalf pipe. This fucking thing. So I thought it was kind of fun. And
How do you clean that? Sounds
I had
annoying.
to clean it because it was in like.
Seems
it was,
annoying
it
though.
was
Like,
sitting
how do
in
you
storage.
physically? You can't do that.
I
You
had
just
to,
sticking
like-
pipe cleaner down it and hoping
Yeah.
it fucking gets it.
I had to use the bong cleaner and then like really shake it up and then like stick the fucking long rod down it. But it's cool. It's definitely easy to break. But
Mm. There you go.
this
Talk
is
about the cryptid. What are we doing?
Yeah, this is a bizarre cryptid. So on the Isle of Wight, in 1973, two children allegedly came face to face with a cryptid or entity so unique their experience remains the only one on record. Dubbed Sam the Sundown Clown, this odd individual seems entirely harmless for children from what children reported with their interaction, but his origins are still a complete mystery.
I got nothing for you off that. Seemed like you got nothing off that either.
It fucking the hole in this fucking pipe is so big. It
Oh,
just
you got to get a
sucked
screen.
everything in. I got a little bit. Go
Dummy.
fucker. So perhaps Sam was an alien who found solace in the English countryside and only wanted to make friends with children. Maybe he was a scout who
Sounds
found
like my uncle.
yeah. Only with kids. Is that because he was a pedophile, or is that because he had the mental capacity of a child?
Both.
Maybe he was a scout who found humans lacking,
Don't you talk about Michael Jackson that way?
warning the rest of his people away from our planet. If it was a hoax, to what end? Luckily, a detailed account of the encounter exists. And there's a lot of amateur, I guess you could say, detectives or journalists that are trying to solve the mystery, but I doubt they will be able to because this is very bizarre.
Wait, year is it?
This is in 1973, good old 70s, man. Coming down off that hippie movement.
Oh, we just we just got Tupac's murder apparently, so you never know.
I was gonna talk about that because
so fucking dumb.
there's
So
something
fucking dumb.
fishy about that shit to begin with, and then I have the episode ready to go of Tupac faking his death, and and I looked through it like recently because I was like, oh, I want to do that sometime soon with you and stuff like that, and it would just be interesting to see I know you may not believe it, but there's some weird coincidences with that whole story. It's like
Tupac moved
10
to Cuba.
pages though. Yeah, it's like 10 pages. There's a lot of information I got, and I was like, whoa, I did my research on this one. Because like I said, I write things out, and then it's like months later, I'm like, I'll decide to do it when I want to do it. But I think that we'll have to do that soon because I want to kind of go back to the famous dead. Saw if Aaron was interested. In
So how do you feel about Keefe there?
I think it's fishy.
Yeah.
I think that's
What a weird thing to like, and it's funny too. The detective, I watched the news prompt of him, and everything he said basically was everything they were saying back then.
I know.
Anyway, so like nothing was really new.
this guy loves milk, man.
You're a big milk guy, eh?
For all the audio listeners, like I said, we go raw cuts to Twitch, and some guy named the Milkman seems to like milk a little bit too much. Get off the tit, okay? Get off the tit.
Strawberry milk's good. I like strawberry milk.
Yeah. I'm not a
Who
big,
just drinks regular fucking milk? Like,
not a
do,
big-
do people still do that?
Yeah,
They actually
yeah.
have a
My
full
brother
glass
does
of
that.
white milk.
I don't do that.
You're a psycho.
I don't. Yeah, you are. I don't think we should. We're the only mammal that whatever drinks another mammal's milk. Like it's bizarre. You don't need it. And most people are like lactose intolerant. They just
I'm
don't know
severely.
it. Me too. I can't.
As I keep drinking coffee and eating cheese, it's fucking
I
delicious.
know. Cheese is hard. Sounds posh and hipsterish, but I've been eating vegan cheese on my wraps. Just like when I take wraps for lunch and stuff like that. You gotta have a little cheese sprinkled in there. So I was like, fuck it. But cause cheese, dairy does not agree with me. So no, I'm not a
Doesn't
huge
agree with
fan
anyone.
of milk. Lake Common is a popular spot near Sandown, the Isle of Wight. Is it? I wonder if it's white there. A lot of white people.
The Isle of Wight.
Yeah.
It's like one row. It's the opposite of what we did.
Yeah.
It's all a black community, and they sent like all the white people to like one street.
Yeah.
You go live there.
This is in
We
United
don't want
Kingdom.
you in our fucking community.
Can you give me a good British accent?
No, I'm not doing that.
United Kingdom, where throngs of tourists travel every year. While there, visitors enjoy the town's seaside charm. It's got shops, restaurants, and a golf course, as well as just natural beauty. Yeah. We don't get that a lot nowadays. Not really.
What do you mean? I go on the golf course. It's wonderful. I like it.
Saying natural beauty.
It is natural.
Everyone's trying to inject their face with all sorts of shit and their asses and all their whole body. Let's just change your whole makeup of who
oddly
I am.
skin tight.
Yeah, like that fucking. You know, if people
So
I always
skin tight,
bring
you
this
look
up.
like leather.
Man, if people want to be fucking trans or all that shit, then you can be transracial. If you can say you can biologically go, I'm a woman now just because I say I am, then that woman that wants to be a black person, she gets to do that too. Then
They do that.
did you hear about that one lady? She like
They do that.
dyed her skin and shit. And
Oh
she
my
has like
God.
huge fake boobs and stuff. Like she identifies as a black woman. And she's like a total white lady.
How do you dye your skin?
I can't. There's something she did. I don't know if she.
Tattoo it?
No.
Oh,
I
that'd
don't
be
think she
balls
just
out.
wears makeup. Like I think like she somehow like she like tanned herself.
To the level of like
Yeah, which is so
just
crazy.
burnt, fried her fucking
Yep.
skin off.
Like those ladies back in the 80s with their like the big tinfoil thing, the metal thing that they would hold, and you would just like you're just cooking yourself before like tanning beds. You remember
Yeah, I feel like my girlfriend do that.
the fucking big one? It's just like burn my face to oblivion. Well, the Sandowns history includes Romans mining salt and the military using its shore to protect from attacks by the sea. I mean, attacks by the sea. Home by the sea. Man, Phil Collins looks fucked. Nothing
Phil
can.
Collins look like now.
He looks decrepit and sick. It looks like he's on the verge of death. It's
I
like
have not seen
his last concert. He
Collins.
looks he looks like he's out the door. He's got a whole leg in the grave.
Phil Collins.
I actually like Phil Collins' music. I mean, like Genesis is pretty good.
I
just don't
still like
recognize him.
my favorite
I don't
is
like him
that
as a
fucking meme of the chill out. It's just a Disney movie and he's on the beach with the fucking piano and fucking burning.
It's funny.
Oh wow, yeah, no, he's looking rough.
Yeah, he looks bad.
Jesus.
Yeah. Fucking good old Philly. I don't know. He seems like a cult leader.
What is
though.
wrong with Phil Collins as the headline? He's in a wheelchair and shit.
Yeah. He's looking rough. If you watch one of his,
he's done. He's toast.
Yeah.
He looked. Jesus Christ! Did he just suddenly hit like 400?
he stopped drinking the adrenochrome. If you watch one of his, especially like his like live concert where he does like his drum solo for Air in the Night or whatever, like it's like a cult. He like walks towards the stairs all slowly as he's singing, goes up these like let up stairs, and he's wearing like this like it's almost like a priest, what a priest would wear just without the white collar. And I just realized what that meant.
I don't know what that is.
The
What
white
is that?
collar.
No.
I feel like
I should know, but I don't. What is it?
it means you're like your servitude to God, like you're a slave to God.
Yeah, okay, that makes
Slave.
sense.
It says slavery to God is what
Yeah.
I googled it, and I was like, wow.
You do nothing but serve him.
Kings in heaven, kings in hell, servants in heaven. They say. I don't even believe in hell. I just find it funny when religious people, especially like Christians or Catholics, like bring up hell, and hell is not in the Bible at all. It's not in the original text. It's not in the Dead Sea Scrolls. It's not in the Sumerian text.
Maybe hell is earth.
Well, they've created it. They think we'll do an episode on when we do our hell series, but we're going to talk about like where the idea of hell comes from, and then Satanism and Anton LaVey and all that type of shit. So the guy like did the Church of Satan and all that fun stuff. So that will be coming probably in the summer when preferably it's hot. So we can feel like we're in hell.
And we all like that weather more. We all know what that weather feels.
So yeah, this is so nothing compares to what happened there on this nice beachfront or whatever, like close to the sea.
Okay.
In May 1973, a man referred to as Mr. Y and his 7-year-old daughter, known as Faye, traveled to the Isle of Wight for a holiday with friends. Faye and an unnamed playmate, a 7-year-old boy, met there and began exploring.
So, sorry, the Isle of Wight, is that a town? Is that
like
a beach?
place. It's like a
forest?
I'll look it up right now.
It can't be an isle.
Yeah, it's like an island or whatever.
Oh, an island.
No, Isle of Wight, right? Isle of what? It's spelled W-I-G-H-T. Yeah, it's like there it is. Isle of Wight. It's like a little island. It looks very nice
Like a
there.
country club.
It looks nice though, eh?
Oh, okay, so it's an island.
Yeah.
They call it an isle, though.
Yeah,
Weird.
a lot of British people do that.
They call islands isles?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Isle
that.
of Wight.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not British. Fuck them.
Now I know.
Hello, everybody out there. Faye and her unnamed friend decided to play near Lake Common around 4 p.m. when they heard a bizarre siren-like wail that led them through the Shakeland and Sandown Golf Club. Can you give me a bizarre siren-like wail?
I almost want to do my dinosaur.
No, that's not what it is. A wail, like a siren.
Yeah.
Like when, there's a nuclear fallout.
Okay, so what
Bizarre
country, though?
Siren-like wail.
What country again?
This is in Britain. The United Kingdom.
I can't fucking do it. Fuck. I don't know what noise is going to come out of my throat.
Let's see. Let's do it. Yeah, that's a whale. A siren, like, whoa. I can't even do it. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, when a nuclear fallout, and it's like...
Well, they did that. Did you ever see that video of all the nuclear sirens that go on country to country? And here's the... Someone compilated all the different wartime sirens from like every single country, and they were all so fucking hilariously different. Really? Yeah, no, it's funny. It's a video you should go watch.
That sounds pretty funny. It's just like it reminds me of Silent Hill. Or those the siren head guys. A creepy creature, siren head.
I haven't seen Silent Hill since I was a kid, man.
It was filmed not far from here.
It was, yeah.
Yes, but they, the whole time they're like in the town or whatever, the sirens are, whoa! I can't even do it. It's
hard to make a machine noise with a mouth, isn't it?
Whoa! Sure.
Stupid.
Once the children reached a near swampy area between the golf course and the airport, the sound stopped. Finding nothing nearby, the pair continued over a small footbridge that spanned a small brook. That's when a mysterious hand appeared. According to the
Nice.
Gotta cut that from the audio. According to the children, first a hand inside a blue glove appeared from underneath the bridge,
Okay.
followed by a book of some kind being dropped into the water. They then heard splashing as if someone was trying to retrieve it. A figure appeared and hurried into a windowless metal hut nearby.
A windowless hut.
That's according to
It
what.
just looks like a big treasure chest.
Yeah, that's what this.
Why
is
do they got buckles on the roof?
I don't fucking know. This is what they thought they saw.
That's what they thought, eh?
Yep.
Oh, and that one. Okay.
Yes, it's a very this is very strange indeed. Faye and her friend started to leave the area and got about 50 yards away before being emerged from its strange lean-to. I don't know what the fuck that means. Faye and her friend started to leave the area and got 50 yards away before they were supposed to like I guess they were emerged into like this weird surrounding that he was in, and this is their interpretation of what the Sandown Clown looks like.
Fucking huge.
Yeah,
he's as big as the goddamn trees.
This is so weird. So the children described the figure walked as a strange hopping motion with his knees raised high.
Okay.
And when
he's got high knees,
when he appeared again,
keep the muscles in his
he
legs.
held a microphone. Very strange indeed.
Where'd he get the microphone?
I don't know, man. He's an alien.
And he's got like what? Is it just it's a wired mic? He's got a wired. He brings the wired mic and the wired speaker.
Yeah.
Wherever he goes.
According to
Where's
them,
the
they
speaker
saw
go?
this
How long
strange
is this
creature.
fucking speaker phone? I want to know how long.
It's reaching from a different galaxy. That's
a long cord. Feels like wireless would have been a better bet there, eh?
Yeah. So he had a weird like fucking hopping motion, like he's like a football players when they're like do the high knees or whatever. And when he appeared again, he held a microphone. The children said that the creepy wailing returned with the microphone. Whoa! He's like screaming it into the fucking mic.
I like share, and I want to be just like
sending the boy running until the strange figure spoke. It said, "Hello, are you still there?" Sounding friendly enough, the creature attempted to communicate. To attempt a communication, drew the children back to the clearing. So once they heard him trying to communicate, they're like, well, "That's fucking weird. Let's go talk to this strange creature."
What does that say beside the Sandown Clown?
I have no idea. Some other language.
A-U...
October 20th. You see?
H-U-L-A-O-A...
Okay.
Alute.
Yeah, so weird.
October 20th, 1970, LA, UK. March 1st, 1972, Compton Bay.
Yeah, I don't know what that...
And something holiday in the country.
Yeah, sirens announced the stumbling clown. Very strange. So, yes, he said, sound like, so he sounded friendly, so they're like, yeah, let's go see what this is all about. Later, Faye and her companion described the individual they encountered as being 7 feet tall, having no neck. The creature wore a pointed yellow hat with round black knob on the top of it and 2 wood-like antennas on either side. The hat connected to a red collar worn on his green tunic. Like a scarecrow, the creature had triangles for eyes, a square nose, yellow lips, and had marks on his extremely white and red, his white skin and red fringed hair. Very strange.
7 feet, but the picture like he was as big as a tree.
Yeah. 7 feet tall. You can have it's a bush. It could be a bush.
That's a fucking tree.
It's a bush, man. See, he's like 7 foot tall.
That's as big as the barn.
The barn. That's a spaceship, bro.
The kids are barely up to his knees.
That's a spaceship. He's got a fun little spaceship hut. See, a windowless metal hut.
Oh, okay.
But this
Gotcha.
is like their interpretation of it, this one. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very
That
weird.
looks like a
a
chest.
chicken coop or something.
Yeah, a little bit.
So the creature introduced himself by writing, "Hello, I am all colors, Sam," in a notebook and pointed to each word in order, which Faye read out loud. She said her friend noted that Sam didn't write the words in the correct order. As they moved closer, they realized Sam could speak without his microphone. That's strange. Oh yeah, so he could speak. He was talking
write?
the whole time and he's writing, but then like he has the microphone for some bizarre fucking reason.
Maybe everyone says he's quiet, so he just brings that around. It's like, I'm sick of people not hearing me. Tell me I'm mumbling.
He's got to pull up to her ear. It's so bizarre.
I don't know why he's bringing a corded microphone everywhere.
Yeah, so weird. Sundown Clown, bro. Sandown, I mean. It's not Sundown. That's
That wants to click.
That's weird. That's a strip club.
Sundowner.
Sundowners, Billy would tell him. Yeah, there he is. He's a strange looking creature. Is Sundown the one where it's like girls on top, boys on bottom, or whatever?
I don't know. That's where Danny took me on my 19th birthday, where I found out strip clubs are not my jam.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, what a waste of fucking money and
yeah,
time.
because I went to one for somebody's bachelor party with Chelsea, and she was downstairs. Because she was downstairs in the guys, and then upstairs was the girls, and
They got two. That's good business. That's smart.
I know.
That's smart to like segregate like that.
But then obviously the strippers come up to you. She did get mad because I was talking to a black stripper. But I'm like, they are there to talk to you. So then you gotta be like, they want you to spend money, and then you're like,
I'm not spending any money.
I'm not spending any money. I don't want to even be here.
I don't like this place.
I don't need that shit. It's so bizarre because then you're like, you spend so much money, hundreds of dollars. You know what I mean?
Dumb.
So fucking dumb. I've been in a strip club, I think 3 times.
Just
in my
like
life.
screams pathetic too.
Yeah, it's
like I feel bad. I feel bad when people are like, "Yeah, let's go to the Rippers." Like,
Yeah.
why?
Why? I used to know a guy that used to pay a stripper $60 for a blowjob like every week.
Like, fucking
What would you pay for a blowjob?
nothing.
Nothing.
I don't. No, I'd never pay for.
What if you
sex.
were like it's just the opportunity arose and
to,
it's like
to
pick
offer money?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
not even $1?
No, I'm good.
Imagine $1 blowjob. A lot
Ugh.
of teeth.
She doesn't have teeth. Yeah, she's got no teeth.
So the speech, however,
That's
was
Crocker
less,
Betty on the fucking street car. Aunt Jemima's out there fucking
Yeah.
giving it.
The speech, however, was less clear and sounded like someone was speaking through closed lips.
That's why he's got the fucking microphone.
Yeah, because he's too quiet.
He's too quiet.
He's
He
got a
mumbles
speech
all the time.
impediment. As for Sam's lips, they didn't move at all when he spoke. That would be frightening. Because look at how this is what they thought they saw.
This is like Wizard of Oz shit, where they
Yes.
they made a fucking a fucking robot kind of thing to speak, and he's actually only this big, but he likes to protrude that he's giant.
It is. It looks like. It does look like
He
something.
looks
from,
metal.
Yeah. He does look like something from Wizard of Oz, especially that second one, Return to Oz or whatever. Have you ever seen that one? It's got like the pumpkin guy. It's
I
fucking
don't think I've ever watched that one. No.
creepy looking. Everyone should go look up the poster because me and Aaron were talking about it recently on an episode, and it's such a bizarre. It's a frightening film.
When did they make the second
the
one?
80s.
Really?
Yeah, and it was like early.
I'm
late
assuming
70s.
you meant like brand new. Oh no.
No,
Okay.
it's creepy to say the least. There's
Oh,
these
so it's
weird
just like
roller
it was
guys.
a horror film.
Yeah, but
okay.
you could say that the original Wizard of Oz is kind of like a horror film.
What fucking is it?
That's a scary ass fucking witch lady.
Yeah, but they're all nice.
fucking midget hung himself. You know, all that fucking fun
No,
stuff.
he tripped.
The director
In the
punched
rope.
punched what's her name in the face.
Dorothy?
Julie Garland. Yeah,
Punched her in the face.
he slapped her. Yeah, we did a whole me and Aaron did a whole episode
What?
about the dark
What?
history of Wizard of Oz. It's actually crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. She didn't get treated that well, and supposedly they claim that they didn't, but the little people were very grabby on her, and she was like 16. Yes.
And he slapped her in the face.
The director ended up slapping her in the face because she was talking too much or something.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way the world used to work. I feel like we should go back to that time.
When was that film made? Like 70s? 80s?
No. The
Are you
original
saying
Wizard of
that?
Oz, the 40s, I'm pretty sure.
The original Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, it was like the 40s. And color was first like emerging onto the scene.
That's how old that fucking
The first thing
movie
that comes
is?
up is Wizard of Oz Curse, because it is technically a cursed film. Yeah, 1939 is when it got released. You know, literally the year of the World War. It's crazy. And then
That's insane. I
A
didn't
man
realize that
with a
movie
little
was so old.
mustache was like, "Oh, I can use this for my propaganda." That was a shitty German accent, but you know, so wild. Different times. People
Yeah,
haven't
ever want to
listened to
get
that
German?
episode.
9 is the best. And
Nine?
it gets you in the fucking
Brett can do a pretty good German accent, probably because he is German, but
9.
9, so much 9 is 10. Stupid. The speech, however, was clear and sounded like someone was speaking through closed lips. His lips did not move. He asked Faye and the boy questions, and they asked about his torn clothing. Sam told the children they were his only clothes, so he had none to change into.
Ah.
That's a sad
That's
little
that
man.
is sad. He doesn't have any other clothes.
If they really
Somebody gave him
believe that they
clothes.
saw this thing, that is fucked up. Or do they just have they have the wildest imagination.
Are the children homeless?
No,
That's my
they're
question.
both on vacation and they met up.
Vacation or air quote vacation?
What do you mean, like trafficking?
I wasn't going that far. I just meant like parents went You're gonna go take a walk for a few miles.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
It's called vacation.
They supposedly met up, and that's what's weird because her dad is only known as Mr. Y, like some sort of James Bond villain. So weird.
I was gonna say that's a better way. I was gonna say a rapper.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Faye and her playmate asked Sam,
Mr. Y. Isn't that actually a James Bond guy?
Mr.
Y?
X or something like that is. Pretty sure. X
Isn't
after
it Mr.
the
Y?
X after the Y.
I thought it was Mr. Y.
Yes, Billy wrote a song once.
Long time ago.
Yep. Faye and her playmate asked if Sam, with his paper white skin, was a man at all. He answered, "No!" with a laugh. The children guessed next that Sam was a ghost, but he answered, "Well, not really, but I am in an odd sort of way." And they're like, "What are you then?" And that's my interpretation of what children sound like.
It's like a fucking like a Canadian Mickey Mouse.
British. What are you then, mister? And that's like Boston all of a sudden or whatever. I gotta like take a course. If anyone's teaching a course on how to do accents, let me know. I'll sign up.
My boss is really good at them.
Brett's fairly good.
It's
too.
super like it gets to the point. Anytime you do accents, like it always like borderline super racist.
Yes, but what isn't racist?
You gotta be really
nowadays?
careful.
Everything is. Everybody is. Especially if you're fucking white, man. You're just a horrible bigot, aren't you? White supremacist
I got
piece
a
of
really
shit.
really good Indian one. I can do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to. We're gonna get canceled. Yeah.
You gotta shake your head while you do it. I see. When I talk to Charlie, I'm like, because he refers to me in my head as daddy. So I was like, "Daddy's home, daddy's home, daddy's home." I had to do it in Indian
Me
accent.
and my brothers, we were talking. We said, yes, yes, we would like that for free. Thank you. Thanks.
We want everything for free.
Okay, no, stop. I'm just joking.
Oh, we're kidding, obviously. I've said this before. Like, everyone, I have nothing against anybody.
I hate that was filmed.
But
I don't feel good
if
now.
you are a liberal, I have many things against you. Many things and many questions to ask you. It's always it is funny because it's always the fucking white people. Like when they had the Million Man March to fight for, to save our children and protect them from these degenerate maniacs.
Mm-hmm.
The other side was paid by the government to counter protest.
Yeah.
They admitted it and they paid the union to do it. All of them were mostly white college kids. Most of them, other than the teachers union that they paid. They paid the teachers union to fucking counter protest. Bizarre. But most of them were just white, like, fucking college kids that are like privileged as fuck and be like, I'm a cat today, I'm a dog tomorrow, I'm a woman the next day, I'm non-binary.
Everyone, binary.
Fucking weird.
What is render?
But I'm trying to think of what like if you're like a furry or whatever, and you switch out what animal you are each day. Like there is a school with a fucking cat box.
What's a cat box?
A cat box to pee in. It exists. People didn't think it existed, and then people were finding it is in Woodstock or near Woodstock. Real thing. Real thing.
It's close to us.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because I know someone that actually didn't believe me, and then they heard about it because they work in the school kind of program stuff. Like I'm not gonna mention who it is, but I think it might be in maybe it's Norfolk.
If it's fucking close to us,
Billy's gonna burn down the school.
litter boxes in schools is the rumor that just won't quit.
Yeah, I know
It's in the U.S.
Supposedly, there's
That makes
one
more sense.
that somebody knows in a school, either in Woodstock or near Woodstock. And there was like a teacher, somebody that works in the school saw it. Like, so,
where do you people are a little? Isn't that wouldn't that be public indecency? You
I don't know,
pull out your
it's-
fucking dick and start pissing
we're
in a fucking
we're
box?
letting men go into women's washrooms. It's crazy because I'm not a fan of Starbucks, right? But they have some pretty good drinks.
Oh, yeah.
But they always have the weirdest, freakish looking people there, man. Like we were walking in towards it, and there was some guy that looked like an '80s dad, right?
Oh, it's
like,
in Quebec.
That's crazy. I feel like
That
there's
makes
one
more
close.
sense.
Yeah, it does. Fuck those French people. But and we were walking, and there was like it looked like an 80s dad, right, with the blonde hair. But
I can't.
I'll figure it out.
I can't go down that rabbit hole because I just saw a bunch of fucking different articles about
We'll
it. It's
talk
more
about
than
it.
one
We'll do a
school.
whole episode
It's
about
more
it.
than one school.
But it's just bizarre. Some of the people you see just hanging out at Starbucks or coming out like it looks like a father and his daughter, but the father has long blonde hair, barely any like makeup on, but like enough where you see that it's makeup, and he's wearing women's jeans and women's flip flops, like a tight shirt. Even Chelsea was like, I don't know what that was. And I was like, man, it's
Where was the store?
in Bradford,
That was in
Starbucks.
that was in Starbucks.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's just there's just weird people working there. Like weird looking people. There were some.
Starbucks is progressive as hell.
I know, that's why I don't really like it. Fuck progressiveness. But in this like weird chick that had a mustache.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening to the world. It's bizarre. Bizarre things are going on in the world. But, freedom to do what you want. I'm just going to question your sanity when I see people looking like that. Maybe a little bit, just a little bit. I'll question your mental health. Like, are you happy doing this to yourself?
That's what's so fuck. I did see something that wasn't about you either, or wasn't you. It was on the internet, but it wasn't you screaming at a fucking phone.
Yeah.
It was somebody else screaming at a phone.
Yeah, the usual.
Fuck, I don't remember what it was. I think it was some sort of like Congress or whatever, and I feel like we need to stop. Basically, what I don't remember the words they used.
Yeah.
Basically, their end point was we need to stop promoting and accepting people's mental health. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well that went a little strong. Yeah. I was like, but he did that in a way from he basically started out his sentence from the LGBTQ community, and then he went too hard with it, right? And then that's the worst fucking part. As soon as you have something that's wrong, and if you go too fucking hard the other way, it's over. You don't have a foot to stand on anymore.
Then you sound like
then you just sound like a fucking bigot.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like you can't get your point across because everyone's like, oh, there it is.
Oh, there
I saw what you didn't like. Yeah, I found it. And it's like, he is racist. But that part wasn't wrong.
Well, it's the idea of like people hate on people when they know nothing about them. Like I remember bringing up to my mom Jordan Peterson,
100%, absolutely.
and then she's like, "That guy's awful," and I was like, "Jordan Peterson?" And she's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Why?" And she's like, "I heard something that he did or something like that." I'm like, you don't even know why you don't like this guy. You only don't like him because the brainwashed narrative that you're like encompassing your life around is telling you not to like these people.
You know what's so hard? What's so hard
too,
too, and
it's
it's just kind of the same idea of what I keep telling you is like when you want to get somebody to agree with you, like you can't argue with them.
I'm done
and
arguing.
like, but that like nobody will ever fucking listen to you. People, and that's when they're just like, well, that guy's not, you all saw it. That guy's fucking nuts. All right, and we carry on doing our own thing. But that narrative to go, something's wrong, I need to fix it. How do I fix it? Fucking good luck. Yeah. You got to be the most sane, calm person in the world and have such a good bloody point and never fucking actually cross your toe over that line.
Well, that's
to like stand solid footing. It's fucking impossible.
I don't know.
It's so
if
fucking
you do
hard.
look at people like Jordan Peterson, he does a very intellectual
He's pretty
way.
fucking good, but he even like there's been a couple of videos I've watched. I was like, fucking watch yourself. Like that's not quite applicable to everybody, but like nobody could physically.
God fearing people, bro.
That's
they
like
have a little different ethics and morals than most of us.
That's like to have that level of intellect to be able to walk that line so finely, like that's straight up Gandhi shit. Like,
100%.
Like
100%.
nobody can fucking do that.
At someone, especially if they, when I've seen,
they can just
heard,
bash you at everything. You know who actually is pretty damn fucking close to that, but he's still a little tuned out, is Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Like that guy. I'm
then
like,
it's like he says some really religious backpedaling shit.
I'm like, you guys, like, I'm like, some arguments you watch with them, I'm like, fuck, you did so good at being like, I understand how you're feeling. Doesn't make sense if you want to look at the facts. And I was like, oh, wow, that was fucking, you put that picture in place. And then like following sentences. And that's what God taught us. And I went,
Yeah, I know. And I don't know. I don't mind Ben Shapiro. He's kind of a little bitch sometimes. But the idea is like, I like some of the stuff he says, not all of the stuff. And guess what? The world we live in, many people think different things, and that you can still agree with somebody saying, even if you don't necessarily like them or what their stance is on abortion or this or that, right? Like, and now's the whole thing of everyone's catering to each other's feelings. And if somebody says one thing that somebody doesn't like, then they're like, throw them to the wind, put them in a camp, gas them all, so.
Yeah. That's like, and it's fun too. They're not fun. Sorry. I meant funny. Where like, I really like, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I don't give two fucks what's happening in the world. What I do care is when it starts affecting other people.
Yeah.
So I'm like, like how this keeps getting brought up, and this is where we're going to get canceled. How that whole LGBTQ community, I don't give two fucks
call it the cult.
Anything they're doing until it involves schooling.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, now I care.
Yeah.
Now get the fuck out of there. You're not fucking allowed in there. Get the fuck out of there. You fucking assholes. Get the fuck out of fucking teaching everybody at such a young age.
And teaching them bizarre, really gross shit.
Fucking leave it.
And they can't even read the books on like...
In what world were we allowed to learn normal sex?
I know.
Well, that wasn't a good sentence. See, that's how you overstep a line.
See, listen though. When I was in school, you could opt out of the sex ed. They do it for a week, and then it was up to the parents if they wanted to have their kids in that class or not.
And that was just like regular.
And now they're like, hey, you're 3 years old? Do you feel like a girl today? Oh, you're playing with Barbies and you're a boy? Oh, we need to cut off your penis. That's what's happening, and it's sad. And the hormone replacement fucking shit, because I saw someone talking about this, and we'll get back to the story quickly, is the idea that it's greedy, it's about money, because the whole thing of, the hormone therapy and the changing your gender and all that stuff, right? There's a lot of money and time that goes into that, and you have to be going back to these doctors for like years. Constantly. For years.
I haven't seen a doctor since I was like 8.
Yeah, me either. And the idea, like,
I need to probably go see
a
doctor.
They have botched those surgeries pretty bad, and people are walking around and they're just pissing themselves because they've messed all their junk up in a bad way. Yeah, so bizarre. So bizarre, like this clown that came from nowhere, and we don't know who this guy is. So Faye and her asked him, like, what he was, and it's like, what are you then? What are you then? Was the children's next question. Sam cryptically answered, I keep changing his voice. Although he had already introduced himself as Sam, he told the children he didn't have a name. This guy would be like more confusing than the gender ideologies, but there are others like him. He even drew the children a picture of another like him before sharing that he feared humans. I fear humans. Some thought that humans may hurt him, but assured Faye, her and her friend, he wouldn't fight back.
Mm-hmm.
So he said to the kids, like, if you attack me, I will not fight back. I do fear you, small little humans. It's so fucking weird.
It's like us being scared of spiders.
I know.
Could you imagine spiders sitting down telling stories and be like, I think the humans are scared of us? Like, no, they're just like, fucking, I'm terrified of them.
Some humans are. Chelsea does not like spiders.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, of course, like that's a real thing, but I'm saying from a spider's perspective to think that he's actually scaring you.
Yeah, it's so funny.
He's like, why the fuck are you scared of me? Like, I'm just, get away from me.
Like that up on the wall.
It's like bee stings. Like, they only sting you because they're fucking terrified. They're trying to defend themselves.
100%. Save the bees. After the question and answer session, Sam invited the children to go join him in his windowless metal hut. Faye and her friend agreed, crawling through a flap to enter the 2-level building. The lower floor had blue-green wallpaper and was covered in dials like that of a dashboard of an airplane, which is quite bizarre. So bizarre. This is weird little metal shack. Come into my metal shack, little girl and boy. Got something to show you.
Yeah, this is getting to a different type of story. When the cops start getting involved.
Wooden furniture completed the first floor along with an electric heater. Just bizarre. I don't know if they even saw this thing or this is part of their imagination, but it's a very strange cryptid. So, and the children only described the second floor as having metal floors and less room. So while they're in the metal shelter, Sam further enlightened the children about himself. He took them...
were they asking?
Yeah,
He's
wouldn't
just so
you
lonely.
be fucking
He's
curious?
so fucking lonely.
Look at
He's
this
just
thing
like,
looks
I'm gonna
like.
tell you everything about me.
Wouldn't you? Yeah.
Nobody likes me where I came from, so
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna
true.
tell you guys about me. Don't hurt me. Everyone beat me up. I bring this little microphone everywhere.
Look at him. He's in this one. He's kind of gangsta leaning in.
He looks sad, man.
Yeah, he's like emotionless, faceless. Like there's nothing to what he looks like.
He looks sad because emotionless people look sad.
It's true. There
Now he looks angry.
This is what the best interpretation is, supposedly, of what he looked like, which is like
Just as tall of a tree.
yes, crazy.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Okay, so these ones, okay, now I like it because the speaker doesn't have another cord plugged in. So the speaker is battery powered at least. So that makes more sense. I was thinking of how he was walking around where that speaker was plugged into. Oh, it's on his chest now.
yeah, it's just different drawings of what people think happened, right? Because who knows, right? Children make up tons of stories. You know, it's just like I when I was like 7 or 8,
Okay.
I thought I was a werewolf.
Did you? No.
I did.
What happened there? Did you wear a tail?
No,
You
no.
were a tail.
No, I thought because my canines were bigger. I think back then, who knows what the fucking shit? I grind my teeth, and I remember like me and my buddy Austin were kidding around, pretend we were werewolves because we watched this movie and shit. And nowadays, right, you know what happened to me? They'd fucking be like, "Here's some fucking glitter box."
You'd be like, here you go. You are a werewolf.
I remember my cousin coming over and we were like playing again. We're young kids and we're like, we're werewolves, and we were in my mom's room. We were like jumping on the bed and we're like, woo, like pretending to be werewolves and shit. And I remember my cousin be like, you guys are really weird. And I'm like, well,
Leave me alone. I'm a werewolf.
I'm a werewolf, man. Leave me alone. I want to be a werewolf. I am a werewolf.
I'm a good
I will
boy.
fucking eat your flesh. My favorite movie of all time is American Werewolf in London. I watched that shit outside
Yeah.
of mushrooms, and it was so fucking fun. It's such a
your
good
favorite,
movie.
eh?
One of my favorites. You should check it out this Halloween.
One of you said my all-time favorite.
It's probably one of my all-time favorite horror movies for sure. So yeah, while he's in the metal shelter, Sam like enlightened the children about himself. He told them he lived off berries he collected in the late afternoon, drank water he purified from the brook. He also
Did he
referred.
use a Brita?
Yeah, probably
Probably, eh?
a shitta.
Shoulda. They're getting sued, eh?
Brita? Why?
Class action lawsuit.
Because the shit in the filters.
No, they're because the filters were false advertising. They were saying they were taking up like the iodine and the you forget what's that
Fluoride?
thing? Yeah, fluoride in the waters, and they don't.
Yeah, I would. Don't they never have?
No, but they claim
And,
they did.
I take iodine every. I'm old. You shouldn't take it every day. I take it twice a week.
I might be wrong on the actual chemicals,
Yeah.
but they were saying they were
Yeah.
taking out a bunch of stuff out of the water that it just didn't do. Basically, a Brita filter was just like a coffee filter.
Yeah,
Where it was
100%.
like all it did was just like
anything.
filter like the little bit of shit. And
Yeah,
just like,
you should
okay.
definitely spend money on it. Like, luckily, I have a well. But people, if they live off the city water, you should definitely get a decent filter.
I fucking have to.
You need to,
I
or you're
fucking
drinking
have to.
literal poison.
I
It
know,
has
it's so
chemicals
bad.
in it, and all of a sudden you're
know.
gonna wake up and you're gonna be like, I feel like a woman today.
That's why
I feel like a lady.
I honestly think like water obviously is good for you.
Yeah.
But
You don't-
I don't drink it, and I'm so much healthier than so many people.
I don't know how you do it because beer is like, especially like
has
the
water.
mainstream shit. It's GMO, all of that shit.
it's water.
Especially the beer you drink, like Canadian and like Sleesman, and like it's just GMO filled like shit water.
But it's water.
It's kind of
It's got water in it.
Oh my
It's a
god.
big can of water.
So he also referenced a camp he visited before showing the children a few tricks with a berry. What do you think he's doing with the berry?
He did not put that up his
He
ass.
shoved it
He
up his
did
ass.
not.
It came out of his mouth. He's like, "Look, I have a trick." He also referenced a camp. I wonder if he came from a
Opposite
concentration
pooing.
camp. I learned this when I was at the concentration camp in Auschwitz, and they turned me into this freakish clown.
Ew.
So weird, all the weird, bizarre shit that they were doing to people. Who knows? Oh man. Yes, we were talking about how much you love milk. Actually, speak of the devil. Nobody
What's that?
drinks milk at
What?
all. My brother's in the chat, and yeah, nobody likes milk. I love milk. Yeah,
It's what's the second one there? That's under that?
he says it's in a bag. Yeah, because we're Canadian. Yeah, no cartons for us.
You're fucking weird, Trennan. The fucking,
so funny.
who just drinks a glass of milk? Like, at what level of psychosis?
I feel like
who hurts you?
I feel like Jeffrey Dahmer drinks like milk. You know, he has like in the show where he has like the sandwich.
I get it.
and the milk.
You have fucking like strawberry milk, chocolate milk. Okay, it's flavored.
It's flavored.
All right, I get that. Just a pure old hearty glass of whole American milk.
Supposedly, if you drink whole milk, it's better. Not whole milk. The non-pasteurized one.
Yeah, non-pasteurized.
Or whatever. Like I heard it's like better for you at least, because who knows? And they're putting so much crap into cows and stuff like that. I don't trust anything, and it's sad. I don't think anything we eat, even the stuff that says it's like good for you, is probably bad for us. All the stuff that they spray. I was gonna post a video about all the shit that they're injecting in the meat.
I'm just still saying in general the fucking is it their fault? Like they kind of have to, otherwise I wouldn't be there anymore.
Everyone should be
like we'd be out of those products by now.
I think that most people should like.
I'm still confused by that. Like we got how many billion people on the planet, and everybody has the option of buying a steak. I'm like, where did all these steaks come from?
I have a but
there's not that many. There's not as many cows as there are people.
No, but if you go to the third world, they're not eating steaks.
I guess that's fair.
You will eat the bugs. You will eat the bugs, and you will live in a pod. Okay,
maybe the bugs are good.
No, they're not. They're really they can affect your brain in a very negative way. There's like gross parasites and bugs and shit that humans should not be eating. But there's always the question of
what do we eat?
How do we know that there's 7 billion people? How do we know? Because they tell us that,
so we can keep fucking traveling and seeing all these countries.
Yeah, but how do we know for a fact it's actually 7 billion? They could just be saying that shit and be like, "Oh, we're so overpopulated."
Those are just censuses.
There was a guy, Max Igor, I think is his name, and he's like a guy that lives off the land. He was very vocal. I don't know if he disappeared, but
it makes sense if you go to every single city and county and you go, there's 130,000 people that live here, and you look around, and you're like, yeah, that's probably pretty damn fucking close.
You can with the. Did
you say what's a county?
No, I didn't say that. I said with the amount of land that we have, according to the research this guy did, and I believe him. He's very vocal during the stuff going on with COVID and stuff like that. And I think it's Max Igor. He lives off his own property and makes his own he doesn't,
whatever. Yeah,
he doesn't depend on the government for anything. And he said that you could give everybody on Earth. A plot of land in Texas alone, just Texas, a nice plot of land with a nice backyard and a house for every single person on this planet.
He's high. He's fucking high.
I don't know, because the mathematics due to how much land there is.
They don't.
So he's saying
they don't add up.
You're taking away all the stores and all that stuff, like everything.
He's wrong.
Land.
He's wrong.
You could fit the entire population into Texas.
No, you could.
Yes, you could.
No.
Mathematically speaking, the amount of land that there is, you could put the whole population in Canada easily.
You understand that Texas is smaller.
Yeah, I understand that. I know. Okay. If mathematically speaking, if you look at it and you're taking away all the infrastructure.
Oh, you're saying like everybody stands shoulder to shoulder.
No,
okay, yeah.
No, you have a house and a property with a backyard, but it would be the size of Texas, but there would just be no grocery stores and all that shit. The idea that
no, they don't. Yeah. That can't happen. I don't believe you for a fucking second.
Okay, I'll look it up right now.
I'm gonna come back at you with math. We're gonna actually do math on it. How big cubic square feet is fucking Texas?
Look, I just looked this with the whole population of Texas. There's about
how many square feet?
170 million acres. There's population of 7.4 billion. Now, if you give everyone in the United States half an acre in Texas, in theory, you could you could in theory house the entire population of Earth in Texas at the population density of 27,000 people per square mile. So technically, you could.
That's not, that math is so fucking
Some
wrong.
like to assess that everyone on Earth could fit into the state of Texas using logic as follows. The area of Texas is whatever. Divide that figure current by the half population.
I'll go do my own math on that. That math is so fucking wrong.
Small plot the size of a big room. Okay, so this one is all, and it's all saying, okay, if you had like a big room.
Everyone gets a room. There we go.
Yeah,
that makes more sense. Okay.
One thing says one thing and another thing says another thing, but I do believe.
I'm going to go do my own fucking math. I think if everyone stood shoulder to shoulder, we could fucking figure it out.
I do believe that you could easily, for the amount of money that we've spent on war from the fucking, at least go from just the Iraq war. It's like 80 trillion dollars, something ridiculous, right? You could
trillion.
Yeah, it's something like ridiculous. And they had 5 trillion go missing after fucking the 9/11, right? So or whatever, 4.4 trillion.
We paid them off.
Missing. Well, no, we don't know where it is anymore. But like you could house and feed the entire population for some of the money that we've sent to Ukraine. And it's like mind blowing that like fucking people are homeless in Toronto everywhere. And it's just like, but the government's like, let's just keep sending everything to another country and never taking care of our own citizens. All part of the plan.
Hey, you want a fucking good kick here on the fucking podcast? This people will love.
Okay.
You'll like this.
Okay.
Fucking guess who got denied EI benefits?
Who?
Robin.
What?
Worked her whole life.
Yeah.
From 12. Paid into EI every single year.
Yeah.
Got seriously hurt. And they went, nah, you didn't make enough hours. We're not giving you anything.
What?
If I wasn't there, chick would be fucking homeless.
That's fucking crazy.
The government goes, I don't care.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, but
doesn't
let's house a bunch of immigrants.
Yeah, doesn't matter. No. Yeah, you don't fucking matter. All that money you paid us, it sucks.
They
like that shit makes me not want to pay my fucking taxes.
I don't think I'm not going to say this, but in theory, if enough people, like millions of people, stop paying their taxes, I do truly believe that if you don't think that you're being benefited through your tax money, that it's just going to another country. The roads, they don't fix the fucking roads. The hospitals are fucking overwhelmed.
Even that, it doesn't matter. The tax money is like so much more than what it costs to do that.
Yeah, 100%. We 70% most 70% we pay in taxes a year. 70% of our wage that entire year, 70% goes to taxes.
That's not good math either, buddy.
It's basically, if you break it down with property tax and all that stuff, it is true.
Oh, with like everything
every
you
tax,
pay,
the HST,
yeah, and
you
like
pay
everything
taxes on taxes.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Now, on a currency that's a fiat currency, our currency means nothing. It means nothing at all. It's based on petroleum. It's based on the gas.
I thought you were just saying your income tax is 70%. I'm like, that's not true.
This country, I hate it. I hate it.
I was like, that's insane though. Somebody that works their entire life finally
know.
gets injured, can't physically work, and they're just like, nah.
But let's bring over like hundreds and thousands of immigrants illegally and let them cross the border and fucking flood the system, which is all part of the plan. I truly like if you see New York. I just want to say this quickly. We always get off topic.
Is New York now flooded with immigrants?
They dropped them off there from Texas and shit like that. To be
like,
hey, liberals, you want this shit? Then here you go. And it's like causing chaos where in Staten Island, there's like an overwhelming like amount of illegal immigrants and they're like taking over. So people are protesting against what's happening to Staten Island and cops are beating the protesters and letting the immigrants do what they want. And in New York, they're letting people loot and rob. There's people like robbing like young kids, all like fucking robbing iPhone stores, like or Apple stores and all that shit. And because there's no lawlessness and accountability for any of these criminals, and they let them out on bail so easily that the system is just coming corrupt. The world is so fucking corrupt. I don't know how people don't see it, but this was supposed to be a fun episode. Eggnog.
What is he saying now?
He said eggnog is amazing.
Eggnog's fucking good.
You can only drink so much of it, though.
Flavored milk. Thank you.
Yes.
It's just plain milk I got beef with.
So Sam took off his hat and exposed his brown hair after showing him that blueberry trick. He shoved some blueberries up his fucking ass to come in his ear, you know. And then as well as round ears.
Came out his ear.
I don't know. And round ears as white as his face. Using one of his 3-fingered hands, he popped the berry into his ear and nodded his head forward, and the fruit magically appeared by his eye. Another forceful nod took the berry into his mouth where he ate it.
I guess everything's like open, right? His eyes were like triangles, but like they were open.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can just like move it around.
Scary looking guy, man. I wouldn't want to.
That's why I'm saying there's just one man behind a controller in his head.
Yeah.
And his head's hollow, and it's just a guy going like this on joysticks or whatever.
You're talking about like a little alien.
Yeah,
guy, like
and then he's like, he
Black.
grabs the grape, and he like, it's as big as his fucking head. And he like throws it up to the eye.
Some leprechaun fucking. I was on a show recently. The episode comes out this week. I don't have my phone. And the guy was saying that he swore he saw a leprechaun. when he was younger. Yeah, swore he saw a little person like run in his room. And I'm
Wow.
like, I've seen some crazy shit, so I tend to believe people if they sound credible and sane, because I would like the same courtesy done to me because of the weird shit I've seen. You know, Billy is an anomaly in himself.
I'm a good boy. I'm over here. I'm a good boy.
After 30 minutes with Sam, the children left and returned to their parents. So the first
They returned to their parents that were down the street. They weren't on fucking vacation. They were out in the woods.
the first adult the children found after leaving Sam's hut that day laughed at their story. Faye then waited until June 2nd, 1973, 3 weeks after she met Sam, to tell her father, Mr. Y, about the encounter. At first, Mr. Y didn't believe his daughter, but thought the amount of detail she was providing was proof her stories, you know, it's maybe true.
She thinks it's true for sure.
Yeah. She believes what she saw.
Yeah.
She thinks she saw the Sandown Clown, you know, a creepy Sam the man. A lot of cryptids named Sam. Me and
I like
Aaron
how he's
just
got.
talked about the
Go back
walking-
to that one. I like his pants.
Like those?
Yeah, he's got it tucked in. His shirt's all tucked in. His buttons are a triangle and a square.
That's a good
like
one, 'cause
fucking toddler.
Yeah, because they said he had no neck. It's like No Neck Ed from 90 Day Fiance. So weird.
Could you imagine just walking around like this?
It's like this. Yeah, like no neck, man. You're like, what the fuck? So after at first, Mr. Y didn't believe his daughter. But then, you know, all the details, she's like, maybe she's telling the truth. He also claimed Faye's companion verified her story. And it would be weird if both kids were saying the exact same thing and not like skipping a beat. And then Mr. Y returned to the area where the children claimed to have seen Sam, but he couldn't find a hut. Workers allegedly in the area at the time of the event stated they saw no hut either. Mr. Y believes Sam took the children into some sort of alien bubble that hid them from the nearby workers and allowed them to interact. So no wonder he doesn't want to go by his real name. Because he's like, I think that it was an alien creature from another dimension that took her into a bubble. It's like, you wouldn't want people being like, maybe we should take your kid away. You know? But this wasn't surprising considering Mr. Y had his own strange encounters on the Isle of Wight. And who knows if maybe this is listen to this. There's the idea that this could have been like a real thing, so to speak. That it was some sort of elemental or maybe nature spirit or entity, right? And that is like almost kind of maybe like a skinwalker where they can like change their appearance. So they kind of they only know so much about the human beings or whatever, or they've been here watching us. So they see kids, this thing sees kids and transforms into the clown creature. Because like, you know what I mean? To give them something that is like pleasant and nice and they wouldn't be scared of. You know, it's like the whole idea of how the reptilians do it is they're not actually shape-shifting. You can't move a solid object into a solid object or whatever, right? They're casting an image on your mind. So they're manipulating your mind to make you think you see like a beautiful blonde-haired woman, but meanwhile they're like a scaly-ass lizard creature underneath.
They might be beautiful in their world.
They would be. They think we're fucking disgusting.
We're gross.
Yeah, fucking.
Ew! Look at his.
pasty.
He doesn't even have scales.
yeah. Look at that weird little tongue that they got. That's not good for dick sucking.
You don't even have the fucking split tongue, you motherfuckers.
But so I don't know. I think that it's quite possible something. I don't know, could have shown up to these kids. Who knows? It's a very bizarre story. And on October 20th, 1970...
How many sightings of this story do we have?
Only one.
It's just been this one sighting.
Once, that's it. This is the Dover demon that we talked about. There was, I think, 3 sightings altogether in the same night, but none after that.
Okay, so one sighting from 2 children.
Yes, the only children. And that's why it's just such a bizarre story, because we don't necessarily know if they're just making it up or they.
How did this go public?
I think they're writing about it, articles in newspapers. It's the 70s. You had like the weird weekly weird news or whatever, and some of those more weirder newspapers. And then it's just like it get picked up.
I'm gonna say those 2 kids made up a fib.
Yeah.
Are they still alive?
I think so. Yeah. It would be alive technically. Yeah.
I'd love to go fucking talk to them.
And we'll
Like, you feel good about what you did?
October 20th, 1970, Mr. Y, this is his experience. Mr. Y drove across the Isle of Wight to see a friend in Ryde when he encountered something strange around 7 p.m. While in the village of Brading, Mr. Y claimed a large UFO covered in lights flew low to the ground nearby. He stopped to watch the strange aircraft made up of a red, turquoise, and yellow light move above. After the UFO followed Mr. Y for a while, he exited his car and signaled for a while with his flashlight. This caused the UFO to idle, moving back and forth before allowing Mr. Y to follow Mr. Y to his destination. Once at his friend's house, the UFO bobbed and weaved through the treetops before disappearing. The lights popped up a few times afterwards, still following Faye's father. Then on March 1st, 1972, Mr. Y was allegedly traversing the Isle of Wight to another friend's house. Suddenly, the water from the nearby Compton Bay, I wonder if it's got a do-rag on,
How many friends does he got?
began swelling and forcing Mr. Y out of his car over to the nearby cliff. So there's some sort of, the water began swelling near this bay, and I guess maybe as he's driving, it was creeping up and pushing his car towards a cliff, which is pretty frightening. Once there, he claimed he saw a pair of yellow lights peering at him from just below the water's surface. He claimed that once the yellow lights disappeared, the water retreated, and he was able to return to his vehicle. Very weird, eh? So there, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff like we talked. I've been playing this game, and it's called the Gray Hill Incident, based on, like, I think I told you that, the Gray Aliens and Barney and Betty Hill. Yeah. And so it's pretty creepy. We did an
episode on that, didn't we?
Yeah. So we did an episode about Barney and Betty Hill, and I've been talking about it kind of while I've been playing and just like talking about, because it's creepy. You go around, you're searching for like tinfoil and stuff. I was like, you have to collect 5 rolls of tinfoil. It's actually very fun. And then so there's gray aliens over, and you see them land, and you're hanging out with your buddy with a tinfoil hat. So I'm just getting kind of through some of this stuff, and it's pretty fun. But the aliens do get you. Like, I literally jumped out of my seat and screamed at one point where I was opening a door, and the gray alien was like right there, and then and it's like, you've been abducted. It's a fun game, so I'm gonna put it all on Patreon.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But I was like talking about how, like, Stephen Greer, he was a doctor that got in ufology as part of the Disclosure Project.
Okay.
He was talking about how the Betty and Barney Hill case was actually our own government, which people theorize that they either brainwashed them or used some sort of MK Ultra technique, or hypnosis, and convinced them that they were like abducted by aliens, and because they said they saw like a Nazi and a reptilian and grays, and we don't necessarily know, but it's the idea they're getting us ready for Project Bluebeam to bring in the New World Order, which is quite clear that they seem to really want that. They keep talking about it often for decades. But like I said I was streaming it, and I said that it's actually more frightening to me. I would rather it be aliens. It scares me more to think about the things that the government will do to push their one world government, or their the shit that they want to control and enslave humanity into like this digital world and slavery.
I saw very briefly, I did not look into it. Didn't they have a whole thing where the government's about to get torn down because we're out of money?
Shut down, yeah. That's in the States. As far as Tim Pool was talking about it recently.
Yeah.
They're going to shut down the government, and I'm like, that's not good. They're borrowing money from China and stuff like that, and they're
over it. They're out of money.
Yeah,
they got nothing left.
It's gonna get really.
How do you
bad.
get out of money?
They printed money consistently. They can print as much money as we make. They can print money faster than we can make it, and that's what they did. That's what people people like Dum Dum. It's like it's inflation's happening all around the world. What's this bad here? Because you caused it. You caused this by letting the banks consistently print money that doesn't exist in the first place. And then so that's why you have the BRIC stuff with Russia and China coming together to unite under like a actual gold currency. And that's why I think that countries are selling themselves out to China, because they know that China will become the new superpower and the whole world will fucking shift and change. And it's a fucking scary thought. I'd rather aliens come down and stick something in my asshole, than to fucking deal with some sort of totalitarian one world government. one fun abduction experience, and then I forget about it. And then I have like hypnotherapy, and it brings it all back.
Start learning how to make fake gold.
Yeah, I know.
Seems like a good business.
It's the whole idea, right? Where did gold come from? We'll eventually talk about when we talk about like the Sumerian text and the Dead Sea Scrolls, and the idea that the aliens were using us to mine gold, because supposedly this is Zachariah Sitchin's theory, is that the aliens, the Anunnaki. Well, I'd love to do an episode about the Anunnaki. When they came here, I'm reading David Icke's book, which kind of mentions a lot of the stuff too. Is according to Zachariah Sitchin, they came here, they wanted us to mine gold, so they created us to mine gold. Essentially, it's breaking it down, but their environment of their planet was dying. So somehow these gold particles that they can put outside their environment on the planet could help like heal the planet or keep it sheltered. So that's why they constantly need us to mine gold for their planet, because their home was dying. Fucking crazy. And then who knows? And we'll get into some of this stuff on the show. And it's going to be like, I will try to do as much research as I can, but I don't know what to fucking believe. I know one thing though. I know one thing. The government is evil. That's all. That's one thing I do know. They're not good. They're evil people. They want evil things. And I wouldn't trust anyone. I don't trust Pierre. Everyone's like, he's going to save us. Trump's going to save us. I was like, no.
Trump's going to save us.
So to this day, only Faye and her friend ever encountered Sam, yet seekers of the unknown still have opinions on what exactly they saw by the water. Mr. Y seemingly believes that Sam was an alien who invited his daughter into a strange bubble outside of normal human perception to share information. The fact that Faye's encounter was published, that's where it was in the... It was in the
light.
What?
I was like, dude, look at my hand. Why do I got such a farmer's tan?
That's a beer can.
It's the light. It's your fucking light. Like, watch. Look.
Weird.
Oh, it still looks like I have a dirty farmer's tan. Is my hand that
dirty farmer's
No,
tan.
I do not. I was not wearing gloves for fucking emoji.
The fact that Faye's account was published in the Bufforia British UFO Research Association. Bufforia Journal is another tally in the favor of Sam being an alien. Another explanation is that the children experienced fluli adulux, or a shared hallucination. That must be a French word for the idea of a shared hallucination, as a way to process some sort of trauma that they endured that day. So their uncle molested them. Maybe his name was Sam. And then so they had to like compartmentalize in their brain, and they hallucinate the story, because there is supposedly real stories of people that claim to have been abducted by aliens, but they were literally just like molested or raped by their uncle. But they make up the story in their head to deal with the trauma. Have you done that before? Are you abducted by aliens, really?
Jesus.
So perhaps there was a Sam, but it was easier for the children to imagine him as a strange alien clown than whoever or whatever he actually was. It was also possible the children met a man named Sam who was under the influence and who had mental health issues, leading them to mistakenly... Yes, mental health is very funny. Mistakenly perceive him as an otherworldly entity. Bad timing, man.
I picked the button. It wasn't the right one.
Some followers of this mystery take Sam's strange answer to the children's question of whether or not he was a ghost to mean that, in fact, he was some sort of spirit. A far simpler explanation is that the encounter was a hoax, and children exploring during the vacation often play games and make believe, and Sam was nothing more than a game to pass the time. Bam, bam, bam. It was a hoax.
That adds up.
Yeah. I don't know. It's bizarre. It's a weird, bizarre story to say the least. But I do think that you never know. It could be possible. Some sort of skinwalker creature like fucking casted an image into their mind, or it was a friendly reptoid, or these are just kids making up a story, which probably that's probably the case. Do you have one?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm looking up right now.
Have one.
It's time for Billy's Fun Fact of the Day!
Okay, I got two. Okay, because it kind of coincides with each other. A is I actually learned this a while ago. Did you know? So you know how like here we have abortion laws and everything like that, and like well, not like you can get rid of somebody like up to a point.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, that's
Get rid of
enough. Like
somebody in the mafia.
that's enough. I think it was fucking. See, I don't know. This is my first one. This is just off what I already know. It's either Japan or it's fucking China. I think it's either Japan or China. One of the two. They got abortion laws up to 1 year old. You have a 10-month-old. You don't want it?
That's crazy. That's what
Doesn't matter.
California's trying to push.
Anyways, other than
I think it's
that,
China because they used to kill the daughters.
you want to go off North Korea?
Oh yeah.
Dude, no, this is like, so this is fucked up. So you're not legally allowed to have Bibles in North Korea. You're not allowed to perform religious activities of any kind. Now,
like what this
if
is
you were
turning
caught,
into.
the rule always was, if you were caught with a Bible, let's say you have a family. If you were caught with a Bible, like you and Chelsea have a kid, kids, let's call it like 18.
Yeah.
And government raids your house for whatever reason. And they go, oh, Tom and Chelsea, you guys are religious. You have a Bible in your nightstand. You guys and your 18-year-old are sentenced to life in prison because that was the community you raised. Now, they went hardcore. A 2-year-old North Korean was sentenced to life in prison. He was 2 because his parents had a Bible.
That's crazy.
It's over. After officials found a Bible in a toddler's parents' possession, as the totalitarian regime continued to execute and torture religious worshippers. As many as 70,000 Christians are imprisoned in North Korea, according to the new international
Jesus
religious.
Christ.
Oh, my phone turned off. A new international religious freedom report by the U.S. State Department. The report found that North Korea government charged individuals for engaging in any sort of religious activities that
You can't have moral ethics unless you can't.
or conducting religious activities in China.
That's fucking crazy. And people are like,
It's over.
No,
You're done.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
Like, listen, people are like, well, if you want to see a real dictatorship, you need to go to North Korea or China. And the whole
2-year-old.
the whole idea is
Who's taking care of this kid?
I know. Well, they're probably torturing the kid too.
He's 2.
Playing football with it or something.
Well, he's 2. Like, who's actually like feeding him and changing him and shit?
Is he buying?
Probably nobody.
He sentenced the baby. Is sentenced to.
I don't know that part. I'm assuming he was sentenced to prison with the family.
That's so fucked up.
But like even that though, like the family's not gonna have like that's what they're gonna do as punishment. They're gonna be like, yeah, we got your baby for a week.
No, it'd be funny.
Yeah, I hope he comes back
I'm
normal.
not saying it would be funny if like North Korea was like one of the best places on earth and it's just mass propaganda and that like it's like one of the they treat everyone really equal and everyone, but it's not the case. But why people are like that? We're like, oh, we're not a dictatorship. We're not getting to that point or whatever. And it's just like the whole point is like I'm speaking out against this stuff and talking about it to make people aware because the whole point is we don't want to become like that. That's the whole idea is like that it doesn't take
Once
much.
it gets to that point, like you're
I know.
fucked.
It does not take that much. Like the fact that they're trying to regulate podcasts. So if people are dissidents of the government, then they can like shut them down or whatever. Look what they're doing to Russell Brand. Fucking 15 years later, and all of a sudden now there's this sexual assault case against him, and then they're trying to cancel him and shut off his fucking bank account and his monetary like means of making money, and shut down his YouTube and all this stuff. And he hasn't even been convicted of
Russell
anything.
Brand?
Yeah, I love Russell Brand.
They're doing that to him?
Yeah. Now they tried to do it to Andrew Tate, and I don't necessarily agree with. Yeah, I know. But listen to me. That Russell Brand.
I liked him in This is the Greek.
Yeah,
Or Get Him to the Greek.
That's a great movie. He
He
does a podcast called Stay Free with Russell Brand where he
Yeah.
exposes all the stuff that's going on. It's pretty good. I don't keep up with it all the time, but it's kind of short for him, like half an hour episodes, and they're actually really going after him. And there's people that think that he's a disinformation agent or whatever. Who knows? Or he's part of it. Now they're
Disinformation agent.
yeah, that's what they think Alex Jones is and stuff like that. That he's they put people in these positions to, confuse the public and the conspiracy theorists and all that stuff. And I actually think that Alex Jones is maybe a real one. Who knows? But he hangs out with I watch him on Kill Tony. That goes on Kill Tony and does like sits there and listens to people do stand up and stuff and hangs out with the boys and is entertaining to say the least. But this idea that they're going after Russell Brand for all this shit, and it's just like, and all these people that are exposing what is going on, and then it's like they defame you, and the idea is that they're labeling him as something and taking away, they wanted to shut down his bank account or something like that, and it was the government that sent the message to YouTube and all these platforms. The government did that and said that they want like him taken off and not able to make money and all that stuff and he hasn't even been convicted of anything. This is 1984. This is 1984. The thought police. Oh, you're saying something that the government doesn't like? Then too bad. We're gonna take away all your means of surviving.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good, everybody. This is why I keep fucking warning you. This is not good. But
anyways,
I hope you guys had fun with this episode. It was a bizarre case, to say the least. What's your final take? It's probably
fucking lying.
You're
so fucking lying.
There's definitely kids making up a story. So make sure to subscribe to the YouTube and Rumble and stuff like that. Help us out with that. Give us 5-star rating reviews. There's some fun merch on the site. Like I said, there's TeePublic and the Spring site. I just got my Raptilian shirt. Pretty cool. And like I said, check out my music, and Billy's music is also on the Raptilian on Spotify and YouTube Music.
I was listening to that lately.
Go check it out. It's kind of fun, and I'm getting better and better at editing and making everything clear and concise, and I have some fun songs coming out that I'm sure some people are gonna love and some people are gonna hate, but it's all about freedom of speech.
That's
so
okay.
Everybody
Anyways, have a good
love
night.
everybody, I guess.
Cheers.
Cheers.